God dang, I can vibe to that, Cuzzo. Good
Come
choice.
Come on now. I'm coming with it. We are in Pensacola, Florida.
We are.
We are finally here.
We are.
Island Fights 50, the biggest event of the year, getting locked in.
We're getting ready for the weigh-ins. We're like an hour out, so we don't waste any time, right?
Yeah.
We go right at it. We got a locked-in interview with our main man, Noah Cutter.
Okay, we have Noah Cutter joining us live from Pensacola, Florida. Locked in Island Fights 50. How are you feeling?
Hey, guys. How you doing? Pretty good.
This is a big event. Island Fights 50, Dave and I have been talking about it, is arguably the biggest event all year in Florida. You have everybody in the building, all these spectacular athletes, fighters, coaches. What is your feeling going into this fight? Obviously, you're fighting an awesome opponent. Do you see this as an opportunity to prove your worth and how great you are, or is it a little nerve-wracking? What is your feelings going into the fight?
No, absolutely. I feel like it's a huge opportunity for me. It is. It's the biggest. I think it's the biggest event in Florida probably this year. It's the biggest event that I've ever fought on as a professional or an amateur. So.
No, very cool. I've been saying that for months. Absolutely. Island Fights 50. Dean's been showing video of it. It's going to be packed. Tickets are selling on Ticketmaster.com. Doesn't get bigger than that. So this is it. This is a huge, huge event.
Absolutely, man. And as far as the second part of your question on my opponent and everything, I'm not nervous about it at all, man. Sometimes my record is kind of hard for people to find. It's not really accurate. My amateur was 8-4, and my pro is only 0-2. So sometimes when people see that 0-2 and their eyes get a little bit big, and I'm always considered the underdog, but nobody really looks at, who those opponents were. My last opponent was Rob Turnquest, and he's an 8-4 professional and at welterweight, and all my other fights have been at welterweight as well. So with this being my first fight at lightweight and my first fight for Dean, I've been wanting to fight for Dean on Island Fights for a long time, and then going against a guy that's 4-1, some people look at that as a downside or something, but to me, that's just an opportunity to catapult myself that much higher in the rankings at lightweight.
Your opponent, Christian Lawson, so Noah Cutter joining us. Have you studied any film on Christian Lawson, or do you just go in there and just bang and just do what you do?
Both, man. I've studied film on him for this fight, but from what I've seen, every day for like the last 3 weeks, I've been meaning to sit down and really lock in some combinations and some stuff to do against some southpaw guys. But when I see his striking, I feel like I could just go in there and bang, man. I don't feel like I really have to get too much in a mindset of trying to do one thing or the other, or concentrating on something that another opponent was able to get off on them, because they're not me and I'm not them, and my style is totally different. And when it comes down to it, my reaction time and everything, my speed, everything is just going to be on point. So
we're joined. We also have, AKA, we call him the Professor, John Radford from P. White Boxing and MMA, and he's always telling me how styles make matchups. So that was actually my question, is how does your style deal with him? But I think you got something, right, John?
Yeah. How you doing, boss? I hope the weight cut and everything's going well and you're feeling good for your fight and everything. But nice talking to you. Thank you for being on the podcast as well. What sticks out in your mind in his striking compared to your striking that you really want to exploit and kind of hone in on? Like, is it you think your jab's gonna land? Is it leg kicks? Is it what type of small little wrinkles do you see that you can exploit if you want to say that part of your game plan? Obviously, you don't have to right now if you don't want to.
No, that's fine. I don't even think they're wrinkles. I think they're great big holes as far as his striking. I think he's a better submission fighter than he is a striker. I'm not sure with his striking background, but watching him and looking at his style and the way he uses his length and stuff like that, I would imagine that he probably did Taekwondo as a background stylistically, and my stylistic is a little bit more that of karate, like Goju karate. And so striking-wise, I've seen a lot of aspects that are going to be big problems for him. not only against me, but against other guys in the future if he doesn't tighten them up. But, the other thing is, too, I'm not sure how old this guy is. He looks like he's pretty young. I never looked it up, but...
yeah, he's around 24, I believe, bud. I think he's around 24 years old.
No, he's definitely a younger guy.
Okay, yeah, I'm 29. The thing with guys like that, and even still with guys like me that are still getting going, man, is, there's still so much room to grow in between fights. So, he might have tightened up some of those things in between his last fight and this fight. I heard the gym that he's training down in there is pretty good. I know a little bit about it. So, he might have tightened up some of his striking games, but as far as I see, I'm not going to get too specific into something that I really want to do, but I don't know if he's southpaw or not, or if he just stands southpaw a lot. I don't see him switch to orthodox very much, and a couple little ticks that he does when he's in that southpaw stance, man, it's gonna be there. Everything's gonna be there. I feel like for the head, the body, and the legs.
Oh, very cool, man.
Excellent.
Yeah, we're excited for your fight. It's definitely gonna be a bar burner. Have you ever fought in a boxing ring before, though?
I haven't, man. Not since I did my very first fight. No, I did an unsanctioned fight for the first time ever in a boxing match in a bar when I was 22. But that was the last time.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's a pleasure to have you on. Thank you for giving us your time. I know it's weigh-ins today. You're probably cutting weight or just finished cutting weight. So we truly appreciate you giving us your time, getting locked in. For everybody that's listening, that wants to watch you fight or just is a fan of yours, where can they find you on all your social media platforms? The floor is yours.
The only social media I'm really on is Instagram. And you can find me on Instagram at Noah S. Cutter. And I'm not on Facebook or anything like that. My Instagram is pretty much everything about my fights, and everybody can message me, comment, follow, everything. I got a lot of stuff going on with the fights this weekend, so you can keep up with me on there.
It's okay if you don't have one, but I have to ask, do you have a locked-in prediction for this fight, or it's just kind of watch the fight and see what happens?
Oh, for our fight?
Yeah, of course. Do you see do you see how it's going to go?
I mean, I see the way the fight's going to go a million different ways, from 10 seconds to a 3-round decision. But I finally got a chance to listen to his, to where he called it on the show last night, and I heard he said he predicts a first-round finish, and I would agree, but I think the only way he could finish in the first round would be submission, and I think I'm going to knock him out or TKO him in the first round.
We love to hear your prediction. It's going to be a phenomenal fight. So like I said, it's a pleasure to have you on, and we cannot be more excited for this fight. So thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Guys, keep your eyes open. It's going to be a good one.
Will do. We'll be right there, right on the stage. Our eyes will be glued to the ring. So thank you, sir, and best of luck to you in your fight.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
You too, buddy.
Bye.
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 And that is what I love about Island Fights fighters. Whether it's Christian Lawson, who was previously on Locked In, or Noah Cutter now, they're both facing each other. They have that professional mindset, breaking down your opponent, seeing where he's weak, where your strengths are at, and that was just phenomenal point of view from the fighter's perspective.
Yeah, couldn't agree more with you, Cuzzo. And I loved how they both have listened to each other on our podcast, Locked In Podcast. It's like we are the podcast of Island Fights 50.
We truly are, and I'm just so excited to see how this one plays out because John, a.k.a. the Professor, has been just right on the money with it. Styles make the matchup. So I'm really interested to see who implements their game plan more. We all know Christian Lawson is a guru on the ground. That's what he wants to do is tap this guy out, but Noah wants to bang and knock him out.
Yeah.
So either way, I don't see it going to the distance. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Both fighters foresee this ending in the first round. So that's what you want as a promoter, as a fan, as a podcaster. That's what we want. First round action.
I'm about to say TKO submission. We don't know, but guys, please support both fighters. We're here, Pensacola, Florida, Island Fights. If you're not here yet, maybe you can still make the event. It's tomorrow, so make sure you come out to the event. We'll be in the building. Download, subscribe, Locked In with 2 N's, all podcast platforms. And like always, stay locked in.